Hello and welcome to News at 6 on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor with you. In the next half an hour, we'll get you the day's biggest stories from India and around the world, putting them in right perspective for you. But first up, the headlines. AAP government completes 100 days in office amid power tussle with LG. Slams centre's notification as unconstitutional. Opposition questions emergency session of assembly. Gujars intensify protests on day 4 of agitation after first round of talks fail with the Rajasthan government, block several highways and railway tracks. Rajnath Singh defends Manohar Parikar's remarks on terrorism, asks Pakistan to help in tackling terror. Intense heat wave across the country kills over 300 people. Telangana and Andhra Pradesh worst hit among the states. And several mass graves thought to contain bodies of migrants found near Malaysia-Thailand border. Authorities suspect human traffickers behind the killings. The top story, amid the ongoing bitter tussle with the Lieutenant Governor, the Aam Aadmi Party government completed 100 days in office today. Now, AAP's legislative party met today to discuss the crisis, accusing the centre of unconstitutionally handling absolute power to the LG in certain matters. Now, the Home Ministry had issued a notification which backs the LG to take a final call on appointment and transferring of the officials.
The Aam Aadmi Party's legislative team met at Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's residence on Sunday. The completion of the Aam Aadmi Party's government 100 days in office has been marred by the controversy over appointing and transferring of top bureaucrats in the national capital. Hitting out at the Home Ministry's notification clarifying Lieutenant Governor Najib Jung's authority, Aam Aadmi Party accused the centre of resorting to unconstitutional means to overrule the Delhi government's say on matters pertaining to public order, police, land and services.
The central government is shadow boxing. Elected government in Delhi which has got a very huge mandate, and such kind of notifications is just not, insult of the Vidhan Sabha. It's the insult of such a huge mandate which the people of Delhi have just given it to the Delhi government.
इस तरह के नोटिफिकेशन के माध्यम से जिसमें कहा गया है कि कोई भी नियुक्ति एक क्लर्क तक को दिल्ली सरकार के बीच में रखने या हटाने का हक अगर मुख्यमंत्री को नहीं है, तो मुझे नहीं मालूम एक दिल्ली का चुना हुआ मुख्यमंत्री और चुनी हुई सरकार किस तरीके से उन अधिकारियों के खिलाफ जो भ्रष्ट है, जो समय पर काम करके कार्रवाइयां करके लोगों से किए गए वायदों में इस सरकार को मदद नहीं करेंगे, क्योंकि उन्हें कोई डर ही नहीं रहेगा कि उनके खिलाफ कोई कार्रवाई दिल्ली की चुनी सरकार कर सकती है.
The chances of the confrontation ebbing away looks a distant possibility as the two sides have raised the stakes in the power tussle. The Aam Aadmi Party government has also decided to call a two-day emergency session of Delhi Assembly from Tuesday to discuss the centre's notification.
मुझे लग रहा है कि इस वाले मामले में केंद्र जबरदस्ती अपनी दादागिरी पे उतरा हुआ है. सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ये कहती है कि साहब संविधान में लिखा हो ना लिखा हो, हम इंटरप्रेटेट करके देंगे कि हम ही चलाएंगे. अरे अगर इतना ही चलाना है तो दिल्ली की विधानसभा, दिल्ली के मंत्री, दिल्ली की सरकार सबको खत्म करो और संविधान बदलो.
Meanwhile, the Central IAS Officers Association has called a meeting on Monday. The issue of the appointment of IAS officer Shakuntala Gamlin as the acting chief secretary will also be discussed during the meeting. Kejriwal had opposed the responsibility given to Gamlin by the Lieutenant Governor and accused her of favouring power distribution companies. Bureau report for Rajya Sabha Television.
Meanwhile, BJP has accused the AAP government of resorting to confrontational politics in Delhi. The party has already sought President's intervention to resolve the matter, which has caused constitutional crisis in the capital. BJP has also accused the AAP government of undermining democratic processes in the ongoing tussle. The Congress also took at the special session convened by the Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. Former AAP member Yogendra Yadav denounced what he called a clash of egos between Kejriwal and Najib Jung. However, he backed the demand for full statehood to Delhi to resolve the crisis.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने तय किया था कि हम सरकार अभी बनी है और उनको कुछ समय देना चाहते हैं. हम चाहते थे कि उनको 3 महीने 6 महीने वो कुछ काम करें, हम उनको रचनात्मक सहयोग दें और एक मजबूत विपक्ष की भूमिका हम निश्चित रूप से निभाएं. लेकिन उन्होंने जो शुरुआत की इस प्रशासन की, वो कन्फ्रंटेशन की पॉलिटिक्स से स्टार्ट की.
ये उनको एक मैंडेट मिला था, उनको काम करना चाहिए, लोगों की समस्याएं भरपूर हैं, मुझे नहीं लगता कि एक दिशा में एक कदम भी ऐसा उठा हो जिससे लोगों को फायदा हुआ। ये जो इमरजेंसी सेशन बुला रहे हैं, ये लोगों के काम करने के लिए नहीं बुला रहे। उनका जो जाति झगड़ा भारतीय जनता पार्टी से वाया एलजी साहब है, ये उसके लिए बुला रहे हैं।
बुनियादी बात यह है कि दिल्ली को पूर्ण राज्य का दर्जा मिलना चाहिए। बाकी राज्यों की चुनी हुई सरकार की तरह दिल्ली में भी चुनी हुई सरकार को हक होना चाहिए कि अपनी पसंद के अफसर अपॉइंट कर सके। ये लेकिन आज का कानून इसकी इजाजत नहीं देता।
थोड़ा सा धीरज, थोड़ी सी समझदारी और थोड़ी सी संविधान के प्रति जिम्मेदारी, इसकी जरूरत आज दोनों पक्षों की तरफ से है।
And in other news, the Gujar community has intensified their agitation that entered its fourth day today. Apart from blocking out railway tracks and that are connecting Delhi and Mumbai, the Gujars have now targeted a national highway and a state highway. Now, this came after a failed first round of talks with the Rajasthan government over demands of reservation in government jobs for the community.
It's the fourth day of the Gujar agitation over demands of 5% quota in government jobs. After a round of talks with the Rajasthan government on Saturday, the agitation has intensified. The community has blocked National Highway 11 and a state highway. The agitation has already taken a toll on the rail connectivity between Delhi and Mumbai, with over 100 trains including Rajdhanis being cancelled.
अगर हमारी मांग पूरी नहीं करी, जब तक मांग पूरी नहीं होगी तो आगे तो आंदोलन जाएगा।
The community leaders met Rajasthan ministers Rajendra Rathod, Arun Chaturvedi and Hem Singh Bhadana in Bayana on Saturday, accused the state government of not coming up with concrete proposal.
2 घंटे से ज्यादा वार्ता चली, विभिन्न पहलुओं पर विधिक संबंधी बात हुई, कानून विशेषज्ञों की बात आई और जो भी 1% होने के बाद 4% जो लंबित है उस पर किस आधार पे उसका किसी विधि समाधान निकाला जाए, उसका हम विधि वेत्ताओं से मनन करेंगे कल और सोमवार को फिर दोबारा जो वार्ता होगी उसके अंदर उस पर चर्चा की जाएगी। इनके पास कोई प्रस्ताव नहीं था, इन्होंने ये भी एक अक्षर भी नहीं बताया कि हमें रिजर्वेशन कैसे मिलेगा। हमें यहाँ के केवल चाय पिलाने के लिए बुलाया गया। हमने इनकी वार्ता बिल्कुल रॉन्ग है, ये लोग इनका मिसबिहेव हो रहा है और हम काम करेंगे, हमारा आंदोलन जारी रखेगा, इस आंदोलन को तेज और करेंगे।
हमारे लिए कभी भी जातिवाद और मजहब और जाति के आधार पर हम राजनीति नहीं करते। गुजर आंदोलन के बारे में राजस्थान की सरकार उस दिशा में काम कर रही है और बातचीत चल रही है और मुझे लगता है कि जल्द ही ये आंदोलन खत्म होगा और जो उनकी मांगे उसके बारे में स्टेट गवर्नमेंट चर्चा कर रही है।
Gujars have been demanding reservation since 2007. They were given 5% reservation in a separate quota, but since that exceeded the 50% quota mandated by the Supreme Court, the matter is now caught in a legal tangle and is being heard in the Rajasthan High Court. Bureau report for Rajya Sabha Television.
Now, India seeks Pakistan to seize the assets of underworld Don Dawood Ibrahim and most wanted terrorists Hafiz Saeed and Zakir Rahman Lakhvi. Now, all these three are named in the UNSC's Al-Qaeda sanctions list. Home Minister Rajnath Singh has asked Pakistan to extend all help in tackling terrorism in the region.
Home Minister Rajnath Singh has asked Pakistan to extend all help in tackling terrorism. He also slammed Pakistan's reaction to Defence Minister Manohar Parikar's remark on neutralizing terrorists with terrorists.
आतंकवाद के लिए जिम्मेदार कौन है? और बराबर हम लोगों ने पाकिस्तान से ये अपील की है कि आतंकवाद को रोकने में वो पूरी तरह से मदद करें, क्योंकि आज पाकिस्तान को भी उसी आतंकवाद के संकट से गुजरना पड़ रहा है। देखिए, आतंकवाद के संकट को लेकर जितने भी सावधानी बरती जानी चाहिए वो हमारे यहाँ बरती जा रही है हमारी सरकार के द्वारा।
Earlier, Pakistan Prime Minister's advisor on national security and foreign affairs Sartar Aziz said Parikar's remarks confirmed Islamabad's apprehensions that India was involved in terrorism in that country. Meanwhile, India is planning to use the diplomatic channel to seize underworld Don Dawood Ibrahim's assets with the help of Pakistan. Dawood, who is a key accused in the 1993 Mumbai serial blast case, is believed to be hiding in Pakistan. India also wants 2611 key accused Hafiz Saeed and Zakir Rahman Lakhvi's assets seized as well. India strongly objected to Lakhvi's bail recently, lodging protest with Pakistan. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And some weather update. Intense heat wave across the country has claimed more than 300 lives so far. The toll is over 200 in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh alone. Well, as the mercury continues to rise, frequent power outages have also added to the woes.
A large part of the country is in the grip of a severe heat wave as temperatures continue to soar beyond 40 degrees at many places. Over 300 people have died so far, mostly in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. The Met Department advised people to step out of their houses with utmost caution and protecting themselves from the sultry heat.
Hot and dry winds from central and north India are blowing across the coast in a westerly, northwesterly direction. So it is raising the temperatures along the coastal Andhra Pradesh. This situation will continue for another few days. People are advised to be cautious and not to go out into the open areas.
ये हीट के लिए, इस सनस्ट्रोक के लिए सजेस्ट कर सकते हैं इमीडिएटली गवर्नमेंट से, खाली वो लोगों को क्या करना, कैसे रहना, ज़्यादा धूप में बाहर नहीं निकलना, थोड़ा छांव में रहना, अच्छे ठंडे पीते रहना, वही सजेशन दिए, ऑलरेडी एडवर्टाइजमेंट भी दिए.
Besides the rising temperatures, the constant power outages are adding to the woes as well. But there's hardly any word of respite from the Met Office.
थोड़ा तो फर्क पड़ेगा. ये पिछले 4 दिनों से हीट वेव है, खासकर साउथ और सेंट्रल इंडिया में. अभी वहाँ हमारा अनुमान है कि नीचे विदर्भा का इलाका, तेलंगाना, कोटा आंध्र प्रदेश, यहाँ अगले 48 घंटे हीट वेव और रहेगी. उसके बाद ये हट जाएगी क्योंकि वहाँ कुछ थंडरस्टॉर्म एक्टिविटी शुरू हो जाएगी, तो बादल आएंगे, हल्की बारिश होगी, तो 2 दिन बाद से वहाँ काफी राहत मिलेगी.
We have taken a decision to stop the elective major surgical procedures because they may go into the complications of heat. So we want to, just now we have educated our patients to wait for another 1 week or 10 days. Later we will take up the surgery.
The weather department has forecast that monsoon will reach the Kerala coast by the end of this month. But rains could reach other parts of the country much later, extending the present heat wave to persist for some more time. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And for more national stories, let's take you nationwide. In order to make electoral rolls error-free and to check multiple entries, the Election Commission has embarked upon an ambitious project to link Aadhaar card numbers with voters' electoral data. In this regard, the National Electoral Roll Purification and Authentication Program had been launched throughout the country from 3rd of March. So far, 13 crore voters have applied to link their Aadhaar numbers with their entries in the electoral rolls, while 10 crore requests have been received through various means and 3 crore people have applied online. A Trinamool Congress leader was injured and his wife was killed when an unidentified person hurled a crude bomb at his house in West Bengal's Birbhum district on Sunday. Injured Buru Hansda has been admitted to Burdwan Medical College where his condition is said to be stable. His wife died on the spot. Now the police are investigating if a political rivalry or if a family dispute was behind the attack. A compressed liquid ammonia tanker skid from Mumra bypass road into a residential area, resulting in a massive leakage of toxic gas. The liquid ammonia bulk carrier overturned and fell into a ditch near Mumra Toll Plaza. The disaster control and fire brigade personnel were rushed to the spot. The help of personnel from a fertilizers unit in Taloja was also being taken to stop the gas leakage. All right, we'll take a very short break here, but up next, 1 month since the massive earthquake, Nepal still struggling to get back to normalcy. Details to follow after a short break. And also, Islamic State militants raise flag at the World Heritage Site in Syria's Palmyra.
BJP came to power with a resounding mandate. 1 year down the line, what have been the hits and misses? Watch PM's men talk about their journey and achievements. On NDA at 365 on Rajya Sabha television.
A Ganga action plan which you have devised. Many environmentalists are saying that it's just the old wine in a new bottle.
First thing is that it is not wine.
Okay, he's going to know what to. Talking about a Gandhian philosophy, how can he wear a 10 lakh suit?
This is really very cheap. They want us to look like beggars. I just could not understand.
What is the saffron ideology called?
I don't know. I want to ask those who talk about it.
Watch To The Point with firebrand Sadhvi Uma Bharti only on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back after the break. Let's get you some international news. Well, around 30 mass graves have been discovered in Malaysia near the border with Thailand amid the migrant crisis in Southeast Asia. Now, the mass graves reportedly contain hundreds of skeletons suspected to be that of migrants. Well, amid thousands of migrants fleeing Myanmar and Bangladesh, the latest development raises concerns over trafficking in Southeast Asian nations. Amid the ongoing migrants crisis in Southeast Asia, several mass graves thought to contain body of migrants have been found in Malaysia near the Thai border. One of them was found near 17 human trafficking detention camps in the region.
Ketua Polis Negara dan Timbalan Ketua Polis Negara sedang berada di sepadan Malaysia dan Thailand untuk melakukan pengecaman dan pengesahan.
Recently, several mass graves have been found in Thailand along a route used to smuggle Rohingya Muslims fleeing Myanmar. But these are the first discovered in Malaysia. Thailand recently began cracking down on the migrant routes, prompting traffickers to use sea routes instead.
This is something which is happening in this region, and of course there should be very clearly addressing the root causes of this issue, why people are fleeing their countries. It's important to save human lives. Whatever the reasons may be, when they are out onto sea, their life is endangered.
Malaysia and Indonesia have agreed to stop towing boats out to the sea and will provide temporary shelter to those who have landed. Thailand only said it would stop rejecting boats. Despite an international outcry, there still has not been a clear strategy on how to deal with the crisis. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. And some more international news in Global Buzz. Police arrested demonstrators in downtown Cleveland, Ohio on Saturday night following the acquittal of a police officer who stood trial in the 2012 shooting death of two unarmed people. The protesters took to the streets immediately after Judge John O'Donnell acquitted Officer Michael Brello on charges of voluntary manslaughter and felonious assault. The judge said Officer Brello acted reasonably in shooting the two suspects while standing on the hood of their surrounded car and firing multiple rounds through the windshield. The protesters squared off against police patrolling in riot gear. More than 20 people have been arrested so far by the Cleveland police. Islamic State fighters have raised their flag over an ancient citadel in Syria's historic city of Palmyra. Pictures posted online overnight by the group's supporters showed. The militants seized the city after days of fierce fighting with the Syrian army on Wednesday. Palmyra is home to a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and Syria's antiquities chief said that the insurgents would destroy the 2,000-year-old ruins, including well-preserved Roman temples and a theatre. While hundreds of statues have been taken to safe locations, there are fears of larger monuments that cannot be moved. Islamic State destroyed ancient monuments and antiquities in areas of Iraq that they captured last year. Poland goes to polls to select a new president in a runoff vote on Sunday. The first ballot on 10th of May saw incumbent Bronislaw Komorowski put under pressure by the challenge of Andrzej Duda. However, both the candidates failed to get the necessary 50% of the vote to claim outright victory. Both men are essentially conservative, with the current president claiming stability in leadership is vital considering the problems in the neighboring Ukraine. Komorowski is a strong supporter of the European Union and is seen as a more progressive politician than the challenger. Duda takes a conservative stand on a number of social issues that he is anti-abortion, anti-same-sex marriage and IVF treatment. The president has limited powers but is head of the armed forces and can veto new laws. A group of international women activists crossed the heavily fortified, demilitarized zone between North and South Korea on Sunday in what they said was a symbolic act for peace. Now, North and South Korea are still technically at war after the 1950-53 Korean War ended in a truce and not a peace treaty. The DMZ is one of the most heavily militarized borders in the world, and there are just 3 official inter-Korean border checkpoints where it is possible to cross between the two. Now, Korea's, although such crossings are rare. The United Nations General Assembly urged the UN Security Council in December to consider referring North Korea to the ICC after a UN inquiry detailed wider-ranging abuses in the hermit Asian state comparable to Nazi-era atrocities. All right, in news at 6, we'll take another very short break here. Stay with us.
Watch the world come alive in your living room. Defining moments. Momentous events. News Tonight, your window to the world. Every night at 9 p.m.
Ellora Caves, an unimaginable and detailed work of art. The finest example of rock cave temple in India with 34 caves. Built by the rulers of the Rashtrakuta dynasty between 350 AD and 1000 AD. Striking sculptures and murals are the hallmark of the caves. The Kailash temple is the largest monolith structure of the world, an impressive 15-feet statue of Buddha seated in 2-story structure of stupa with all the grace. It took about 5 centuries to complete the structure, made with 200,000 tons of rock.
BJP came to power with a resounding mandate. 1 year down the line, what have been the hits and misses? Watch PM's men talk about their journey and achievements. On NDA at 365 on Rajya Sabha television.
Hello and a very good morning. You're watching the Breakfast News.
Every development worldwide impacts India. What happened overnight matters. Wake up to a complete roundup of world news. Keen analysis to kickstart your day. Watch Breakfast News, weekdays at 8 a.m.
Hello, welcome back. Let's now get you news from the neighboring Nepal. Well, it has been almost a month since the massive earthquake in the country that flattened large swathes of Kathmandu Valley, killing more than 8,000 people and affecting millions more. The aid agencies are continuing emergency response aimed at saving lives and addressing the urgent health needs, but with slow rehabilitation work ahead of an impending monsoon, the threat of the disaster is far from over.
Nepali monks praying for peace and prosperity in Nepal. This almost a month since a deadly earthquake struck the country, killing over 8,000 people. There are no aftershocks, but troubles are far from over. On Sunday, thousands of panic-stricken villagers fled their homes after a landslide blocked Kali Gandaki river, submerging large areas, triggering flood alert. A Herculean task lies ahead for the government to rebuild homes before the monsoon sets in. Rubble and debris still remain scattered across many parts of the country, and residents are still forced to stay in tents.
Complete 2 years complete 2 years like no I know steel or materials or no manpower.
So it's a really big disaster for the country. So I don't even want to guess, because it's and the monsoon season is coming and winter is coming over the mountains. It could take a very long.
For many others, it's a long-term support and rehabilitation that is the need for the hour. Hospitals are continuing struggling to treat vast numbers of injured with limited supplies and staff.
The percentage of injury is very high, and the most of the people will have a long-term disability and they will require a long-term care. So I think for their long-term rehabilitation they would need support in the assistive devices, as well as in the health-related needs they need to have support from the international community.
The international aid continues to pour in, but there are more challenges ahead. A month since the disaster, life still far from normal in the Himalayan state. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
All right, and the French Open is going to kick off. We'll get you all the details and much more from the sporting action in Sports Beat. World number 2 Roger Federer will take centre stage on the opening day of the French Open at Roland Garros when he faces Alejandro Fella of Colombia. Federer will be looking to make the most of a kind draw which dumped top seed Novak Djokovic, 9-time champion Rafael Nadal and 3rd seed Andy Murray all in the opposite half. Now Federer's compatriot and 8th seed Stan Wawrinka is also in action on Sunday, facing Turkey's Marel Ilhan. Bayern Munich lifted their 25th Bundesliga title on Saturday. Pep Guardiola's side clinched the title with 4 games to play. They entered the campaign with a 2-0 victory over Mainz 05. The Allianz Arena was abuzz as Robert Lewandowski put the hosts ahead in the first half. Bastian Schweinsteiger later steal the game for the team, scoring in his 500th competitive game for the club. Defending champion Lewis Hamilton secured his maiden starting position at the Monaco Grand Prix for today's race. After struggling for rhythm in qualifying, Hamilton clocked a final best lap of 1 minute and 15.090 seconds, ending Mercedes teammate Nico Rosberg's ambitions of a top spot hat-trick. But Hamilton said that the task is not even half done. Hamilton says that he's expecting a tough fight to take his first Monaco Grand Prix win in 7 years at the famous street circuit. Well, that's all in this edition of News at 6. Thanks for watching.